Well, this feels slightly surreal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And we're finally here.
Yeah.
Feels like we should have a drum roll.
All right, or a glass of bubbles. That feels slightly on brand.
That's something I can arrange, seeing as I do run a bar company.
Yes, you do. That's probably where we should start, actually, with why we're here. To be honest, I've wanted to do this for a really long time. We've worked in weddings for years. We see very different sides of weddings. I am a wedding planner, and therefore I am knee-deep in timelines, expectations, budgets, family dynamics. There is a lot to handle.
I run the bar side, where it's about the guest experience, the flow of the day, the logistics, how things come together, not the spreadsheets, what Precious loves.
Love a spreadsheet. I think that we have both noticed that over the years, they have become so loud.
Louder than loud.
There's more pressure, there is more opinions, there is more information out there, and of course the more information you get, the more overwhelm that there is. So we get to that point of decision fatigue.
There's also more options. There's so much more available. You see more than just the traditional wedding that it used to be.
That is true. Most couples don't struggle because weddings are hard. They're just struggling because there is so much choice.
And so much to do, no one knows where to start. This isn't a thing we've learnt at school, or here you go, plan something you've never done it before.
That's true, and there are so many type C brides out there that are so chill they're lying down, and to then be told to plan the biggest day of their lives, that's overwhelming on its own.
That's just because you're type A.
Yeah, that's so true.
You've probably got a spreadsheet for them already pre-made.
I actually do. So if you're here, you are probably knee-deep in wedding planning yourselves. You are feeling slightly super somewhere in the radius of overwhelmed, and you're just looking for some clarity, and you are definitely in the right place.
Or you've just come to listen to what we're going to say and what we're going to do.
It's actually really valid. Anyone here that's here just to be nosy, I mean, shout out to you people. So let's get into it.
Or better or worse.
We need to talk about weddings. Not your average wedding podcast.
Real wedding chat.
From both sides of the aisle.
Today's episode is sponsored by Hair by Emma Howell.
Emma actually did my own hair for our wedding day, and honestly, she brought so much calm to the morning. In a moment that could have been really stressful, she was fun, relaxed, and such a reassuring presence to have around.
And she didn't just show up on the wedding morning either. Emma coloured and cut Precious's hair beforehand, so by the day itself there was already so much trust there.
If you're looking for someone who not only creates beautiful bridal hair but also brings the right energy to your wedding morning, we genuinely couldn't recommend Emma more. Not your average wedding podcast.
Not your average wedding podcast. I am Robot.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about where is the overwhelm coming from. Firstly, a really big one is too much choice.
No, you're wrong there. It's social media. You think you can click on any of the social media platforms, type W, and I bet you something comes up with a wedding. You don't even
type W.
You could start the word wedding
Okay.
it puts you into a TikTok hole.
That is true. Okay, so you're suggesting it's TikTok, whereas I was presuming it was Pinterest, the picture perfect wedding, and a mood board full of 200 photos, and thinking we can curate those 200 photos together and suddenly we'll have a wedding.
Yes, that's deeper. Pinterest is, you as a type A person will use Pinterest to visualize.
Yes.
Where I generally don't use Pinterest. You might send me something on Pinterest, but I would never automatically go to Pinterest and search.
I saw that you downloaded something to our Pinterest board the other day. I can't remember what it was.
What was that? I might have done it by mistake.
It wasn't nothing to do with me, so it obviously was you. It was something very clearly to do with your work. Sean saved something on Pinterest. So, right, we are totally off point here. Another thing is that you go on social media, it's day one, you say you've got engaged. As soon as you announce your engagement on social media, the algorithm...
Boom. Algorithm.
Absolutely. Algorithm knows...
7,000 venues here. Book me now.
But it's not just the venues, it's every single decision showing to you all at once.
Yep.
So therefore, on day one, you are faced with 1,000 decisions, and you are thinking that you need to make those 1,000 decisions.
There is nowhere to start.
Yeah, it doesn't say, oh, well, I heard your fiancé proposed this morning, therefore, let me give you 2 months to find your wedding venue.
If you think of some of the couples we've had over the years, if you think about them as people, they probably not as
Rather
people,
than the apes that he normally
but
sees
what
them
I mean
as.
by that is they have all probably got different starting points of getting married.
That's
You know,
true.
that
You already know some percentage of the decisions
certain
that you're
points of it,
making.
they want to get married in a barn.
That's true. With so much inspiration does come confusion. If you are seeing so much, you are thinking, this is amazing, I've just got engaged. And then you are straight into, oh my God, I have so many decisions to make. We've got 3 friends that are getting married next year and very different personality types between them.
A, B, and C.
It's interesting that one of them is feeling super stressed because the other 2 have planned things. And every time we have a social occasion, she'll say, and where are you at? And have you booked the venue? And have you done this? Why? Everyone's on their own roadmap. As long as you have got 5 months, you're totally fine. Totally fine.
People look at everyone else, and that starts the stress. They don't think, I'll do it in my own time. We can't always do that on some people because in their own time could be never.
Yeah.
But it's looking at other people, looking online and thinking, I should be here at this point.
Yeah. Which leads nicely into our second point. Why weddings feel so hard now is the fact that there is no roadmap. No one explains how to plan a wedding.
This is why you book a wedding planner.
If you're planning a wedding by yourself, you don't know where to start. You don't know what the first thing to do is. You don't know what a realistic budget is. You don't know what venues will hold your capacity, what you need to ask your venue. There is so many questions on day one. The amount of noise out there, the amount on social media does make that seem super overwhelming.
Yeah, it really does. And then you look on social media and you see these bougie, probably 100, 150 grand weddings, and you think, yes, every wedding looks like that. When it's not realistic.
No.
These are big, huge weddings with massive floral budgets.
Yeah, all their content days.
Oh, you're right. A lot of that stuff online is content days. I did
Which
not know
is
that.
fantastic, and they are a great way, and I'm in full support of content days. Content days get a lot of misunderstood by people not within the industry. You can only create what a couple asks you to create, and therefore if you have an idea and you want to show that there is this other option and there's this incredible idea that you've got, the only way to create that is by hosting a content day. But of course, they are perfectly curated moments. There are no guests to mess up the table plan, to be in our empty room shots. So there is absolute requirement for content days, but there is also a requirement for couples to understand that not everything is possible with guests also in the room.
And that they are content days when you see them online.
I think there's this feeling that everything feels urgent, that a couple needs to do everything today.
Do you know, that's from the fear factor on the back of COVID, where everything was fully booked for years because of no weddings for nearly 2 years. So you need to get that now done, otherwise you're not going to get your date for 4 years. Where that has started to subside.
I do think that it's an online thing. It's a sales tactic that's been happening since the golden ages. I don't know when the golden ages were.
Yes, I do fall for this sales tactic quite frequently.
You actually do all the time.
Precious, I want to go see this. They say 90% sold out. Yeah, they're just trying to get you to buy it.
Yeah, and this happens actually all the
Quite
time
regular.
in our personal lives. Yes, it's a huge sales tactic for a person to put online, 2026, nearly sold out. Oh my God, I need to book because they're nearly sold out. It's something we are taught on day one of marketing school. Say you're nearly sold out so that your product seems in demand and people want to book you. Couples see this continuously from every sector of the wedding industry, and that causes this feeling of overwhelm of all I'm seeing on my social media is that these suppliers are all fully booked for this year. Therefore, the wedding that I want in 2027 now needs to be in 2028.
As we see through our experience, that isn't always the case.
No, there are obviously an order that you have to do things in.
But who tells you this order?
Okay, that's a really good point. Where are your reliable resources to go from?
ChatGPT.
I actually don't agree with you. ChatGPT is very helpful. However, it doesn't always actually tell you the correct information. And of course, it just gives you an overview. Well, that's not very helpful. There are so many details that go into wedding planning. You are so much better off going on a blog of a wedding planner, if you actually want reliable information, you just want to go to one source point, you want to read what their article says and follow that. The noise from loads of different angles is what makes it feel too much.
Yeah, totally agree. All the advice, even people saying, oh, when I got married, I did it like this. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
By that point, you've got engaged, you're in the high, and by the weekend, oh my God, stop asking me when we're going to get married. I don't know. I want to just enjoy being engaged.
You don't know what matters, first of all. So therefore, everything...
Music. Party.
That's right. Sean's like, I just want to have a big party. If you don't know what matters first, then suddenly everything feels like a really important decision. You start to get all of the other opinions. That leads us into number 3.
Pressure. Under pressure. So where do you think the biggest pressure comes from when organising a wedding?
Wanting everyone else to be happy.
Why do you think that makes people have that pressure of themselves?
I'm inherently a people pleaser.
Take you out of it and then
I think so many people must be people pleasing.
If
you're not people pleasing, what are you doing with your day?
A lot of the things people do on their wedding, yes, it's nice for them, but they are for the guests. You're ensuring your guests are having the best time.
Yeah, you want to look at however many guests you've got, and you want to say, well, I want every single one of them to have a good time. And that goes through every single element of the wedding, from music choices to clothing styles. I know from my experience thinking, will my mum like this dress? There's still that inner child seeking approval.
Won't that be there for every bride?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
But
We're
talking about other things.
Talking about people pleasing. And what I'm saying is I think that so much of it comes down to wanting all 100, 200, 300, whatever it is, guests to be happy. And that's never going to happen. I used to work for a caterer many, many moons ago. And in 60% of my tastings, you're not here to please everyone else. Yeah. This is your wedding meal. It's meant to reflect who you are, what you guys enjoy eating. You are inviting people to dine at your table as if you were in your own house. And that human requirement to please everybody else. And it's just impossible when you're talking about 100+ people.
We're not talking about a small table of 12.
Even if we are talking about a small table of 12, big up the intimate weddings, there's even more pressure there because there is only a table of 12 people, so you feel you really have to impress those 12 people.
When you're doing bigger numbers, there is going to be people that don't enjoy certain elements because not everyone is the same. They're not all your nearest and dearest friends.
No, but if they've made the effort to come to your wedding, to travel wherever they've travelled, whatever that's required, whether it's flights, hotel, travel, a gift, a new outfit, there is requirements for every single person that attends your wedding to go out of their way to be at your wedding. If they have made that effort, they want to experience your love, your story, be part of that chapter with you. And so you just have to decide that it's about you and your fiancé. At some point, you just need to plan a wedding and stop trying to manage expectations.
Yeah. Plan a wedding for you two.
Do you think that in terms of the external pressure of social media, is that a huge factor? Or do you think that the family, the people, the friends, what you've seen in person is bigger?
When we were planning our wedding, I don't think I looked on social media and thought, I wish I had that or that, because actually...
But I don't know if that is necessarily the same for everyone, because talking about this lack of experience and no roadmap, we had a roadmap.
Yeah, I suppose that is a bit different.
I was a wedding planner. You had worked in events for years. You'd worked on weddings. We knew roughly what we wanted. We knew how our wedding would look, the feel of our wedding. We'd seen a million fantastic ideas in person, and we'd seen the reality behind them, not just the perfect cut highlight reel on social media. So I don't know if we can directly take our story from that, because we had that roadmap. One of the pressures wasn't there for us.
It's the logistics of working out where we could have that experience.
Yeah.
So taking it from someone without industry experience, for them, especially this day and age, the first thing is social media.
Yeah. People will forever compare on social media, whether that is celebrities, influencers, your friends that you didn't necessarily go to their wedding, but you've still got acquaintances on social media that you haven't seen since school. You will be forever comparing online.
I think we're human. It's hard not to compare. You compare yourself to everything. Everyone compares themselves. That is human nature.
Yeah, absolutely. A big thing is the circumstances that those celebrities are in, those influencers are in. You don't know what their circumstances are.
This leads quite perfectly into budget confusion.
Yeah.
Bring it back to social media. Reality versus Instagram.
Yeah,
You know,
I see. Okay, so your algorithm has decided that you want this big white wedding. You're seeing all of these incredible things that you want, and then you start researching them, and suddenly you realise the cost of them, and you're like, oh, holy crap balls.
yeah, and
Yes.
or you then only have the disappointment because that's way out of your budget and you can't have that.
It's completely fine. That's out of your budget. There is something incredible for every single budget out there. There is a perfect wedding for you for £10,000, and there is a perfect wedding for you for £100,000. Whatever it is, your day will be perfect for you.
Yeah.
It's good to start with understanding what you can afford. We had a client last year that sent me a photo of, you know, the smoke cannon rainbows?
Oh, the paint cannons.
Yes, you can like picture it, right? It's Lake Como, the ceremonies happen, they're doing the kiss, and then bang, this like smoke cannon goes off, but it's the colours of a rainbow.
Yeah, paint cannons.
All right, still paint cannons. The paint cannons, so they sent me through this picture saying we'd really love this. And I looked at the picture and I said, do you realise that's Ashley Cole? I would imagine that Ashley Cole had a slightly different wedding budget than what we're working to.
You never know.
Yeah, actually, we didn't have it because they got married in an avenue that had really low trees and we couldn't have it anyway. But it turns out that it wasn't that extortionate. So maybe that's a terrible example. Yeah. So an issue that we have is that we have a lack of transparency in pricing.
Oh, are we talking about suppliers? Yeah.
Well, actually, I thought your other option was going to be couples.
95% know their budget.
People feel like there's a problem with discussing their budget with suppliers. For me, it is so important. On my first phone call, I will say to a couple, what is your budget? Because...
Of course, you need to know.
Yeah, but the expectation of what we're delivering, that is what I'm trying to work out, right? Couples have this view from the 80s of the salesman that's selling them PVA windows, that if you say what your budget is, suddenly I'm...
Do you mean PVC?
I definitely mean PVA. It's PVA glue.
PVA glue. You're gonna glue windows.
PVC. The guy in the 80s, right? What was it? It was the era of like white gold, I think it was called.
It was
They'd knock on your
salesman
door
tactics, yeah.
and say, your budget's X amount. All right, well, I'll spend £1,000 over that because it's realistic enough that you can grab it, but they got the maximum amount of money out of you. That isn't the wedding industry. People ask your budget because what they actually want to do is they're trying to deliver as much as they can for what your budget is. Yeah. But there is such a vast array of budgets out there that we are having an entirely different conversation at 10,000 to 100,000. So I need to know what your budget is so that I can recommend what I can to you. But people seem to think that it's a taboo subject and that we shouldn't be talking about it.
If you're trying to create them this wedding, but they've got say a 40 grand budget, you go to totally different suppliers because there's suppliers of all levels, of all budgets. You've got photographers what are 10 grand, but you've also got photographers what 2.5 grand.
Yeah.
If there's only a 40 grand budget, you're not going to be going to these suppliers, wasting their time and yours.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And there's no shame. There is absolutely no shame in whatever your budget is. Just be transparent with suppliers. Yeah. The wedding industry has got better with being transparent with their costs. You will find a lot of suppliers now have their costs on their websites because of, again, all links back, full circle, because they've seen it on social media. They were like, that's extraordinary. Let me book it. They've gone to the venue and the venue were like, no, we are more than your total wedding budget. So...
It just makes no sense to hide costs.
Yeah, our costs are not with bars so much because you're a bit more bespoke, but with the wedding side, all of our pricing. Yeah,
it's all online.
It's set packages, right? So although we do a bespoke in between, it's all there, it's very clear. And the majority of wedding supplies are similar, but where we struggle is the hidden costs.
For me, the ones what still need to come better at that is the catering.
Okay. With hidden costs.
With hidden costs, with how much anything's going to cost.
That's right. You can have we charge from this.
Yeah. If you go on caterers' websites, you won't find any of that information. Here's some sample menus.
Yeah.
But there is no sample pricing.
Yeah.
We find that as difficult as a wedding planning company. Imagine couples.
An issue is that people will say prices from, and then suddenly they start adding on costs like rubbish removal or... corkage, things that you as a non-wedding industry person wouldn't realise are a cost. But people don't realise how much things cost until you're actually in it, until you're in the wedding planning, until you are in the process, you're going through the motions and you are trying to plan a wedding. Until you're at that point, you don't know what the difference of reality versus your Pinterest board is. And going out and getting your basic quotes as a starting point to see what is realistic for you is a super sensible idea.
Yeah. The first, bringing back to the roadmap, before you even start looking at venues, work out how much you want to spend.
Yeah.
As a couple,
Yeah.
what you're comfortable. That's the first bit of a roadmap, is how much we want to spend on our wedding day.
Okay. That brings us to our first wedding court. I think we probably need a jingle. Dun dun dun. Yes, you can hire me for weddings.
She
Okay.
does MC too.
So, what ruins a wedding more? Bad planning or bad suppliers? Or a bad supplier?
One bad supplier could ruin a wedding.
Okay.
On a wedding day, you will have 5 or 6 different suppliers, and they all have to tie together.
Okay. Sean works in bars, so he has 5 or 6 different suppliers by the time he's got linen for his bar, alcohol for his bar, glassware for his bar bins for his bar. I have got 15 to 20 suppliers.
Okay, well, let's see what the 20 suppliers though. Imagine if out of them 15 to 20 suppliers, you have 2 bad eggs.
Yeah.
Imagine if you get a bad bar company. Late for the drink reception. Serving warm drinks. What is, oh my God, one of my pet hates, because all you've got to do is buy more ice or get a better fridge.
Sean's having a trauma moment here.
You know, for me, it's having actually shit glassware. There is so much nice glassware out there. Invest in a nice glassware.
Okay. I entirely disagree with you.
Having bad stuff. It's a wedding day. Happy stuff.
I still disagree with you.
Why do you disagree?
It's bad planning. I can deal with a bad supplier.
And deal with a moody person serving your champagne.
Yes, you can deal with any bad supplier if the day has been well planned.
But if the day's been well planned, great. And that's amazing.
Right.
You know, spreadsheets galore. We've got timelines. We've got everything we need. But what about if that supplier's late because he just doesn't care?
Well, I could just...
Bad.
It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, don't get me wrong. I agree. It's unfortunate. But I can manage one bad supplier. I can't manage a badly planned wedding.
I was going to say joke then, but I think I'd lose my ring.
So what?
A good planner could sort it out.
Good planner could sort it out. No, that's my whole point.
But
Is
if-
I can sort the one bad supplier. I can sort that.
But what one bad supplier? Yes, okay.
Okay,
one
if you're talking
bad
about all bad suppliers, that is tough. Don't get me wrong. Like if you've got, and we've had weddings like that where we've had the really
Miserable
obnoxious going in with photography. Sorry, photographers, we
bands.
love you, but
No, we do love
there's some
photographers,
bad
most of
eggs.
them. Bands. One of my pet peeves. Bands will think they're bloody
Famous.
That when you get them,
Bad suppliers are hard to deal with. I completely agree with you. I'm not disagreeing in any way, shape, or form. But in my personal opinion, it's much harder to deal with a badly planned wedding than it is to deal with a couple of bad suppliers, because I've planned the whole wedding in entirety so well that I can deal with those couple of bad suppliers.
but you wouldn't have bad suppliers because you picked them.
That's true.
So I've got something for you.
Yeah.
A good plan can't fix a bad supplier. So how do you deal with a bad supplier? Real life stuff here.
I push them in the broom closet.
Because we've got many examples over the years of hard people to deal with. When we work together, we tag team and we work separately. But when you're out there on your own,
Yeah. We've dealt with some very difficult suppliers over the years.
very. Not
To
for how long,
clarify,
not
we've
for my
worked, for clarity, we've worked with a hell of a lot more fantastic, wonderful, lovely suppliers than we have difficult ones. But there are, of course,
the ones you remember are the bad ones.
yeah, and I remember some also very, very wonderful ones. I also think I live in quite a romanticised world of everyone should just get along.
Yes.
And
Precious is you are very good at calming. Not talking down to them, that isn't the right way, but you talk. You kill
sorry,
them.
did you just say I talk down to
No, what I'm trying to say is you don't talk
She's
down
very
to them.
good. She talks down to
You
them.
don't talk
Fantastic.
down. You kill them with kindness and having the understanding of the plan. Okay, I'm sort of digging myself a hole here, aren't I? Because the wedding's so planned and you know it so well.
Sorry, does that mean planning's More important?
That means I think a good plan can fix a bad supplier. So maybe let's change my word. What I'm trying to say is, the way I've seen you deal with them is this is what's been agreed on, that's what's happening.
Yeah, facts and figures.
Facts and figures, yeah.
You take the romance out of it. You just tell them the black and white. This is the end goal. We're all here for the couple. I just want to live in a world made out of rainbows and sunshine, and we all eat and be happy. She doesn't even go here.
I don't know what she's talking about.
It's flamingos.
You think I'm... Right, should we move on?
Yes, absolutely. We are going to go into... Dun dun dun! Unknot This.
Time for a new part of the podcast.
So this is our Unknot This segment. So in this segment, we will have some sort of dilemma or a tip, something that you want to unknot. We will go through it together. We'll chat about it, come up with a solution. This is the segment where we hope to give you some clarity, and you will leave this episode with a little bit more knowledge than when you arrived. Would you like to do the honours of the first Unknot This?
Let's do this. What's the first thing a couple should do?
The very first thing. Announce their engagement.
First.
Call their mum. Hello, mother. I'm engaged.
No. Come on.
Okay. So.
Real head on. Plan ahead on.
Plan ahead. Your priorities. The absolute first thing you should do is set your priorities. I don't want to see a Pinterest board in sight. I don't want to see a decor idea in sight. I want you to set your priorities. So the top 3 things that are important to you and that absolutely need to be involved or abided by for your wedding.
Okay. Priorities.
Top 3 priorities. Write them down. Basically, before you plan anything else, decide what actually matters to you.
What's your 3 priorities?
My 3
Let's do
priorities.
it. Right now, on the top.
Okay, my 3 priorities
When we got married,
for me was that I wanted my whole family involved. I wanted it to be a big celebration that included everyone that we loved, was number 1. Number 2 was that I only wanted it to include everyone that we loved. So whilst I wanted it to be big and beautiful, I didn't want us to just have people there for the sake of having people there because it was our wedding. It has to be a fine line of having everyone, but not just invite people for the sake of it. And the third one was that I wanted a huge party. I wanted everyone to be having an absolute ball. I wanted there to be dancing until the early hours. I just wanted it to feel wholesome, upbeat, and the best day of everyone's lives.
amazing. And
Yeah.
I think we nailed that.
Yeah. Okay, your top 3?
So my top 3, obviously you stole my one because that's always going to be, was the big party, entertainment.
And that's how your 3 points each become the same.
Yeah. Having that, always something going on, something to do.
Okay, so yours was the big party plus constant entertainment. Is that a second priority?
Not being entertained as such, but there's no lulls.
Yeah.
There's always something to
Oh
do.
God, there's nothing worse than a lot.
And then was having it in a marquee outside.
Really? That was a
That was
priority,
a priority,
for you?
yeah.
What?
Yes, it's indoors, but it's indoor-outdoor.
Okay, so yours were
Party.
party. So big party. Your second was no lulls, constant entertainment,
Constant going on.
like building the atmosphere throughout the day. And your third was a marquee. I'm
Marquee-
so shocked by marquee.
Outdoor.
But
Well,
love
actually,
that.
That's why our evening, or even the day, it was a big festival stage.
The party doesn't surprise me. It's the marquee that surprised me.
Oh, yeah, always.
We did it. We were in Bolton on the Water, and when we just got engaged, and we went to a little pub, and there was a log fire, and we sat in the pub, and we hadn't told anyone yet. We decided that we wanted to tell everyone face to face, but I also wanted to tell people right that second. And I have 2 siblings that live abroad. Well, I definitely can't tell them face to face. I tried to call them immediately, and I tried calling Australia at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, funny
Anyway,
enough, your
yes,
sister
we were-
knew as soon as she woke up. from
Yes.
it. She and said, "Oh my God, wait, I'm going to cry."
And then called back hysterically crying.
Anyway, we're going off piece here. So,
Sorry, we did have that conversation. We did it literally on day 1. We chatted through what was important to us.
okay, okay, what would we say to these people about decisions?
Okay, so first things, decide what's important to you. Once you've decided what's important to you,
Would you sit and chat Or would you want 3 priorities each and then come together as a couple?
Well, this is fun. So I love an activity.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd bring it in.
Have that conversation together, make a nice little night of it, chat it through, and then it becomes naturally your first conversation. It naturally, every time you then have a further conversation, you can bring it back straight to your top priorities.
Yep.
And I would write them down, because if your engagement is 2 years,
forget,
18 months, you can just keep reminding yourself the social media can't suddenly start taking over.
Yeah, make decisions based on feeling, not pressure.
Great. I love that.
The not inbox.
You said it.
I know.
You always get tongue twisted on that. That's why I was going to say I do it.
The not inbox.
For today's not inbox, because it's episode 1, we've just had to make it up. Send them for the next episode. Okay, so today's question is, where do I even start?
Well, we spoke a lot about this today. Where would you start is budget.
Yeah, it's a really common question. People go straight into overwhelm, but absolutely 100% agree with you. It's budget. Take your budget.
And then run with that budget.
Absolutely. Do a complete budget breakdown so that you account for absolutely everything. 10% whack into a miscellaneous budget so that anything that's a little bit more, you're not suddenly spiraling costs out of control. You've already accounted for it. And yeah, once you've got a budget in place, you can then look at venues that are within that budget.
It has to do with the budget.
And this is where couples go wrong. They start with looking at social media, they start looking at venues, etc., and then they can't afford them. So number one thing, your budget. Just start with the decisions that shape everything. The budget, the guest list, the venue. Easy. Okay.
We're coming to the end.
That's it for episode 1.
Yeah.
We made it.
Hope they enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. I felt a little bit nervous. It's episode 1 and we'll get into it. We'll find our rhythm. We'll find our flow. We're just hoping to give some clarity over chaos. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to subscribe. Follow us on social media. We have TikTok and Instagram. And we look forward to you joining us in 2 weeks for the next episode. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.